right, up next, Border X Brewing, David Favela. Come on up. All right. Look at that.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
If you're all wondering what this is, it's a beautiful paddle, flight paddle, in the form of an Aztec war club. So that's just one example of the kind of things that we do. So,
All right, I'm going to get off the stage. Your timer's right over there.
all right. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is David Favela. I'm one of the owners and founders of Border X Brewing in Barrio Logan here in San Diego. We started a little less than 2 years ago. Our strategy really, let me go back a second, really is we believe flavors cross borders. We are Latino. The Latino population is quite large in the U.S., and we just felt like it was one that wasn't necessarily being served directly, especially in terms of our palate. When you think about the Latino palate, it is actually quite different. We were raised, if you've ever gone to a Mexican piñata and opened it, there's a lot of chili candy in there that kids in the U.S. would actually never experience. So maybe I can go to this. I'll stay on this. So what we did is we said, okay, well, what does that look like? How does the only Latino brewery in San Diego function? And so what we did is we went to our roots. We looked for flavors that come from our childhood. We look for flavors that come from our pre-Columbian heritage. There are over 2,000 recipes, fermentation recipes across Latin America. And we thought that that would be our unique contribution to the San Diego brewing scene. And so what we did was create a logo. Well, our brand is to create new craft beer flavors by exploring fusion of Latin American ingredients with traditional brewing techniques. Our logo perfectly reflects that. The creation includes the Aztec sun god at the center, and then the hop head cone right on the top. So we like to joke that if there were an Aztec god of beer, this is actually what he might look like. Our beers are actually quite traditional. Our flagship beer is our Blood Saison. It's a hibiscus and natural agave beer. It has a huge amount of hibiscus flowers, gives it that rich, red, deep color, and the natural agave balances it out with a nice tang. I did win a medal here locally. Our second two beers is kind of a tie. The Horchata Golden Stout, it has Mayan vanilla in it and a little bit of cinnamon, and really is a rich drinking experience. And the Abuelita's Chocolate Stout is also our second runner-up. And again, the thing about these flavors is that they connect with the Latino palate. When we first started, we had a huge response. We opened up in the south of San Diego, which at that time there were no other breweries operating in that area. If you think about San Diego from a Latino perspective, the South Bay, as it's popularly known, is a very Latino community. And really who we're shooting for is people new to the craft business. They haven't had craft beer before, and that this is something that would be a great experience for them. Our story is built on tasting rooms. We heard earlier about how tasting rooms are an important part of building a brand, and we certainly felt that. When we first started in Otay Mesa, we had a tiny spot, and it was really a family affair, my nephews, my brother. And then we did a bold move. We moved to Barrio Logan. If any of you are familiar with San Diego, Barrio Logan is considered one of the toughest neighborhoods in San Diego and had been economically depressed for quite a while. We moved into an old taco shop and we combined our beers with tacos, and guess what? It was a hit. Within 6 months, we moved across the street to our flagship tasting room. We have about 7,000 square feet. We have music. We have street tacos, we have Latin-inspired beers, and we're providing an experience that is really, truly differentiated from any other experience. So let me fill it out. And our strategy is to continue to consolidate our business model and then to expand. Wow.
All right, great job, David. Well done.
Thank you.
4 minutes goes pretty fast.
It does.
Yeah. All right, Tom. I got to ask you, what do you think of the flavor profiles that David's infusing into his beers?
I love this beer. I think it's got nice tang. It's got wonderful flavor. It hits attributes that I'm looking for that are authentic, but also meet the brand. And so I congratulate you on hitting all those targets and having them intersect really well and meld well.
Stephen, what do you think of the beer?
You.
I liked the beer. I think the brand it's a great idea. I think it's, craft beer needs more people all the time. So especially people who are underrepresented in craft beer, that's a great idea. I guess my question would be with your styles, and you said you're looking specifically for people newer to craft beer. Do these styles necessarily kind of get that crossover?
Absolutely. The most common experience in our tasting room is people come in and ask for a Corona or a Pacifico, and I take it as a personal challenge, and I say, wait a second, try this. And when they try it, the conversion rate is like 95%. There is a great translation. And it's a great, and we consider ourselves evangelizers. We're not pursuing traditional craft beer drinkers per se. We do get them because we think great beer, but we really attracting brand new customers to the market because I think the current market's being fought over by a lot of people. Unless we grow our market share, then there's not going to be a market big enough for all of us.
So, Border X, how would it do at Bevmo, Amy?
Good. I love the flavor. This is what they talked about earlier, the styles that are popular, the ladies. Don't know
Yes.
if a man, you said you liked it, a man beer or whatever, but I mean, this is directed to exactly what customers are looking for. You don't bottle, though, or can, right?
We are bottling limited bottling runs at this point with a partner. Yeah.
I love the
Carmen,
brewery
your
concept.
thoughts?
I love your brand. The brand is really, really sharp, and it seems refined. It looks like you guys know what you're doing in that capacity, and you're telling a story that's very real. So I have so much respect for that. Kudos on that front. When Bart and Lester, again, this morning were talking, we talked about millennials in that chart that had all of the green with the bumps with millennials and baby boomers. But what we didn't talk about was the steep curve for Latinos. And so I'm so happy that we're seeing a response to the Latino influence on our taste palette and on our market altogether. So I think this is a great representation of that.
Great, thank you.
Dan, what do you think of Border X's taproom strategy?
Actually, I do like the taproom strategy a lot. From what I'm seeing now, it's becoming more like sort of the chain restaurant concepts and making sure that you're local in those different neighborhoods. I think you're going after a great target audience. Your beer's fantastic, and I really like the branding that you've done. It's all consistent. It all sort of follows and flows from what the story that you told us. I think you're on a great path, and I'm glad to see some of the success you've had so far.
Thank you. The tasting rooms have been critical, and I think what I didn't get a chance to touch on is we're investing in neighborhoods that are traditionally, economically depressed. So the change has been dramatic. We go to a street where all the buildings are boarded up, and from, within a 2-year time span, they call it the Barrio Renaissance, and we're just glad to be part of that, but it creates a really incredible support structure. And
All
we
right.
believe that plays. That's authenticity in a brand.
It
All right,
shows.
well done. Great job. I'll let you take your laptop and your paddle, and we can go from there.